everybody, and welcome to this Pisces new moon astrology reading. This week's Pisces new moon happens on February 27th at 4:44 p.m. Pacific time. You gotta love that 444 angel number coming in. This 444 has been showing up for me a lot lately. How about you? Do you guys see angel numbers? I see so many angel numbers all the time. And we have so much incredible energy pouring into our planet to manifest this month as we just had that 222 energy portal. And I was setting up to record this Pisces new moon on Saturday. And then I just got this spontaneous download of energetic vibrations that said, no, you got to do a sound healing with Reiki instead. And so I was like, shift gears. For those of you who used to drive stick, no cars have that anymore, but transmission, you got to shift gears sometimes when the universe says, no, you got to do this. Go here, talk to this person. I'm always listening to spirit. And I got this download that I needed to do a distance Reiki healing with sound healing and subliminal messages because I've been doing so many of these 9-star key astrology readings with energy clearings and Reiki, and I'm still working on the impressions for 3 of you. I swear they're coming today, Monday, as I record this. I'm going to wrap up the impressions, but so many people I know are just really wanting to call in something this year to manifest something big. And when we had that 222 energy portal on February 22nd, I was feeling the divine energy to create this 2-hour, 22-minute recording where I did distance Reiki master symbols infused into it. The lights were flickering. The power went out at one point. My husband's computer was glitching. That's when you know the Reiki energy is flowing. My hands were on fire. My face turned red. My lips got bright red. My cats were like trying to sit on my lap as I was sending Reiki to this. So, this is a quantum healing recording that gives you the ability to manifest desires quicker. And that is what this Pisces new moon is really bringing us, an opportunity to manifest what you've been trying to call in through a quantum leap energy, as we have some strong Uranus aspects as Uranus crosses that Taurus 24 degrees, and I'm going to talk about that later. And so I just had to record this powerful Reiki activation with subliminal affirmations and sound healing with that luck vibration frequency. We recorded it on February 22nd. I uploaded it. Spirit was just giving me all the energy. And I swear this divine energy was just pouring in my crown chakra. I could just feel it. And the rain began to pour and just so much coming through my Reiki hands that day. There's so much energy that we can still receive. We're still in that 222 portal all the way through the end of the month on February 28th. So you can still tap into it and give a listen to this recent recording. I think this is my most powerful subliminal recording yet. And I just put all my Reiki master symbols for abundance in it. And I'd love for you guys to help me see if it does help you to manifest. And when I woke up this morning, I saw this amazing rainbow. I hope you are seeing this rainbow. When I saw this rainbow this morning, right when I was getting up, this was just after sunrise. This rainbow was such a beacon of hope. And it really feels like something wonderful is about to happen in our world, even with all the negativity. I'm not a Pollyanna, I'm a Scorpio, I'm a realist, but I really do believe this rainbow is a beacon of hope, and I just wanted to share it all with you and just infuse it with some good energy. If you need to hear that something wonderful, something amazing is about to happen. And I honestly feel like there is some positive energy coming in with this Pisces new moon, and we are really getting to this higher vibrational energy with all the Schumann resonance coming in. It feels like actually love is winning, but there's just a lot of noise from the dark side, from the negativity, that they're making a lot of noise because fear and darkness is losing the battle, and actually love is winning. And maybe I'm feeling ridiculously optimistic despite the chaos in our world because I have all of these tools. I've been doing a lot of energy clearing. I've been helping a lot of people clear some really big energy. There's so much energy to clear from the past 4 years. And I feel like 2025, this is a magical time to just clear your energetic field of all the stuff we've been through since 2020. And right now, I am burning my simple Virgin Mary candle, rose scented. I'm really into the rose oil, and I'm diffusing that Bulgarian rose oil I got for Valentine's Day. I love it so much. And of course, I continue to burn dragon's wood incense. I've been like super into the dragon's wood. This incense is the medicine for our times, I'm telling you. I'll put a link down below if you're interested because it just smells like amber and wood, and it actually comes from this really magical tree I've been reading about. I wish this tree would grow in Central Oregon. Nothing grows in Central Oregon, but I want to plant one of these trees so I could have dragon's wood incense all the time. And I have my chrysocolla crystal for this Pisces new moon. This is a very grounding chrysocolla. If you know this stone, man, I'm sending you some chrysocolla, dragon's wood incense, and my rose quartz so I can stay in my heart no matter what is going on. Don't listen to the news, just stay in your heart. This is my advice for this Pisces new moon because this new moon will open the eclipse portal. The eclipse portal is now open, and we have our first eclipse this next March. We're right on the precipice of March, this moon being February 27th. And on March 14th, we will have that total lunar eclipse, bringing it in strong for the first eclipse of that Pisces Virgo axis. And I got to get on to my reading for the Pisces Virgo axis because a lot of things are going to be shifting in really big ways on wherever Pisces and Virgo shows up in your astrology chart. Do you know where Pisces and Virgo shows up? Leave it in the comments if you know which house. For me, my Pisces is in my seventh house of relationship, and my Virgo is in my first house of who I am. So it's that, you know, me, my own needs compared to what I'm doing for my relationship and my love and my family. And this Pisces new moon that begins that eclipse portal on the Pisces Virgo nodal axis will have us all want to pay attention to where Pisces and Virgo show up because this new moon will wax into that full moon Virgo that brings the total lunar eclipse, March 14th, the Ides of March. And this is a bad time for dictators. Do you know of any dictators right now? Let's think. I'm trying to think of one. But the Ides of March, this March is particularly precarious. The Ides of March is what brought Julius Caesar, the fall of Julius Caesar. If you know, you could just Google March, Ides of March and learn all about it. It's a really interesting history, but it might just bring Humpty Dumpty Trump to fall off the wall. So he's talking about his wall. He might just fall and hit his head. This is my prediction. I really predict that Trump could have a fall and hit his head because he has that Uranus crossing the algal star, which is a time we should all be careful about our heads. You might get a headache, you might have a head injury, any one of us, depending where that 26 degrees of Taurus shows up in your own personal chart. Just be aware that something could happen. The Algol star is that Medusa star where Medusa got beheaded by Perseus. And I did a whole separate recording about this. I really did a deep dive. I took like an hour and a half looking at Trump's chart because the last time Trump had this Uranus, remember when Uranus and Mars conjunct the algal star in Trump's chart? That was when he had that assassination attempt. And where did it hit? Close to his head, right at his ear, right? That's head injury. Algal star is a very dark star that always brings head injuries. And here comes Uranus again, crossing Uranus in Taurus. Uranus has been in Taurus for so long, and Uranus has gone over the algal star and then retrograded back and then crossed over. So here we go, Uranus conjunct algal star right on Trump's midheaven. That is destiny related to a head injury of some kind. And I tell my son, this isn't an intuitive hit. This is the astrology. It's written in the stars that something could happen to Trump's head on March 14th, right as we have this total lunar eclipse. But I'm going to talk about that more in my eclipse portal readings. And just know where Pisces and Virgo are showing up for you. This new moon is at Pisces 9 degrees. So look to where Pisces at 9 degrees is. And this moon is also known as the Shiva moon. I've got my little Shiva. Hope you can see that. Shiva, Mahashiva Ratri is happening as this moon wanes just before it becomes this Pisces new moon on February 26th. If you get up before sunrise, look to the south. Well, at least for where I live, it's to the south. It could be different wherever you are, but look for that moon, that little crescent moon. That is the moon that is on Shiva's head. This is known every February. This waning moon, just before the new moon begins to wax, this is known as the Mahashivaratri moon. It's a very special time. I love Shiva so much. And just be sure to look out at that crescent moon. Praise Shiva. If you do like some Shiva chanting that day, anything to just acknowledge Shiva. He is the great liberator. And I honestly believe in Shiva so much because one time, a long time ago, I had a near-death experience. I'm a Scorpio, Scorpio rules the house of death. I've had more than one near-death experience, but I was driving a group home van and with really bald tires, and I was in icy, snowy, mountainous road. I went over a metal bridge and the van just completely lost control. I started spinning on this bridge that didn't have any guardrails, and it had like a 500 drop to the river. And I just so happened to have these chants that I was listening to on a good old cassette tape way back in the 80s. And the cassette tape was playing Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, just chanting by Krishna Das. And so I was singing that and I was saved. The van stopped by the mountain. I kept saying by the mountain, not the river. And it just finally just stopped, came to a complete stop. And I put my hand out the window and just felt the mountain. But Om Namah Shivaya is the great liberator. If you need to pray about something, just chant this Om Namah Shivaya mantra and you can pull one up. Oh, maybe I'll link one down below, the Krishna Das one that I was leaving. And I just believe in a higher power. And if you've ever had a near-death experience or been in a big earthquake or hurricane or volcano, we're all going to be experiencing more of this in the years to come as we just have more climate crisis. then you really start to believe in a higher power when that power helps you. And this new moon is in the house in Ayurvedic. This is Ayurvedic astrology. It's in the house of Shadabisha, which is the house of 100 healers. It's a gathering of 100 healers who come together. And it can also be a very spiritual, it's like 100 healers comes together for healing, liberation, and inspiration. So it ties into Shiva so much. And I hope to have 100 healers at my Bend Health Guide Spring Fair. I'm going to keep plugging it here because it's happening this May 10th. 2025 in the Old Mill District, right by the Deschutes River Trail. It's going to be this beautiful space. If you are in Bend, I hope you can make it. If you're not in Bend, come on out. We're having it at the Hampton Hotel. You could stay in the hotel and come get healing. We've had so many healers sign up. Thank you. I'm so grateful for all of you, especially my Reiki students who have signed up. We're going to have hands-on healing with massage, Reiki. I have several acupuncturists and massage therapists and Reiki healers and crystals and all kinds of goodness. So come on out for it. And this Shadabisha healer new moon that we're having right now is all about setting an intention for what you want to heal going forward. This could be whatever you need to heal for the whole year. So if you have something that you need to heal, leave it in the comments and I will send you distance Reiki. This is my moon. I was born under the Shadabisha Nakshatra. I am so aligned to this new moon. I'm really digging into healing right now. I know a lot of people are worrying and freaked out about the state of our world. And I was telling somebody else here that I'm just digging into the healing. I just want to do more healing this year. The world needs healing. So if you need healing, if you have an intention for something you need to heal, leave it in the comments and I will send you distance Reiki to help you heal. I promise. Because the energy of healing is increasing on our planet right now. And let's look at the chart for this new moon, shall we? I want to show you some things of where this new moon shows up and the stellium of planets that are still aligning. We're going to have that whole alignment of planets on February 28th. So this is the Pisces new moon astrology chart. And several of you said you'd kind of like me doing it this way better because you can actually look at the chart and learn a little bit more. And so this new moon, we can see right here, the moon and the sun are at 9 degrees. This is sun and moon at 9 degrees of Pisces. And this new moon is in exact conjunction to my own personal Pisces moon at 9 degrees. So I'm feeling very in tune with the energy of this new moon. And see where that 9 degrees, there it is, 9 degrees of Pisces. Where does 9 degrees of Pisces show up for you? If you're a water sign, this is a really beautiful moon. If you're a Cancer or a Scorpio, this moon is trining you, giving you this beautiful opportunity for healing and just divine energetic downloads. There are some lucky, sparkling, winning vibes with this new moon. It gives us such an optimistic feeling. And the Sabian symbol is all about winning and quickening. And the energy is really speeding up now with this new moon. There's so many opportunities for growth and abundance that will be really coming in. And you can see everybody's talking about the big alignment that is happening on February 28th, just a day after. And you can really see that all these planets, we have Saturn and the North Node, where this is the North Node at 27 degrees. This is where all those eclipses are happening. in Pisces, and we've got Neptune still hanging around in Pisces, and Venus, who's shining so bright, but she's getting ready to retrograde. She is now moving into Aries, and we've got Chiron in Aries, and they're all just lining up now. And Mars over here in Cancer just stationed direct. So I'm going to unpack all that. And now Jupiter is in Gemini. So, what does that all mean? Well, when we look at Neptune, Neptune has been in Pisces for so long. Neptune stations in Pisces forever. And Neptune has been right at home. It's the sea god, you know. Neptune rules over the ocean in the sign of Pisces that also rules the ocean. Neptune in Pisces has been so beautiful for giving us these incredible dreams and visions. It's the artist transit, Neptune and Pisces. You can create, you can channel divine messages, you can channel inspiration to do paintings or write a book. I have loved Neptune and Pisces, and I personally will really miss Neptune being in Pisces. But when Neptune gets ready to move into Aries at the end of March, just as we're in this eclipse portal, Neptune is going to shift into Aries. The last time Neptune entered Aries was April 1861, and the American Civil War began because the Neptunian sea god that is all about water, that is exalted in Pisces, loves to be home at the ocean where Neptune belongs. That Neptune sea god is going to be on fire this spring. It's like the oceans are on fire, and this signifies drought. And Neptune is debilitated in Aries. So there goes our creativity. There goes our divine messages. And this will be a hard time for the cardinal signs. If you are an Aries, Libra, Cancer, or Capricorn, let me know down in the comments, because when Neptune is in Aries in this debilitated way, it can bring about major disruptions for those signs. And I think it's going to just spur on massive droughts. And I also see us having more of those under ocean submarine volcanoes. And after I was writing this, I went and Googled it. I was like, underwater volcanoes. And sure enough, a video popped up immediately that said, Oregon is expecting the largest. We have these underwater volcanoes that go from Oregon to Hawaii. It's where we are Pacific Northwest is connected to Hawaii by a line of underwater sea volcanoes. And they are expecting that whole line of volcanoes to explode in the most disruptive, volatile way that could even cause tsunamis on the Pacific Northwest. So this is a volatile energy, this Neptune moving into Aries, and I'm not really a fan, but we'll see what it brings. And then on good news, though, why I'm actually recording this today is because Mars has finally stationed direct in Cancer right here as I circled Mars stationing direct. Mars, it feels like it's been retrograde forever. And Mars stations direct on February 23rd, bringing back our ambition, motivation, and energy. This is forming a trine of opportunity to this. This is a perfect trine to Pisces, the new moon, but it's also a trine for Scorpio. Hey, Scorpios, we're finally feeling ambitious. We're finally getting this video done. I'm finally going to finish writing up my impressions for the three of you. And we're just going to get our mojo back. Have you felt like you've lost your mojo since Mars has been retrograde? Like you have all these things on your to-do list and you just can't get them done. But now we can start to make things happen again and complete all those projects and stop procrastinating and stop watching Netflix and chilling. We can get off the couch and get going. But just as Mars stations direct, Venus will go retrograde on March 1st, and I'm kind of sad about that. Venus, who's been shining so bright, and I hope you've seen her in the night sky. Venus is evening star, all part of this powerful star pattern, the Venus star pattern, and she just reached her brightest illumination on February 16th. I went out and watched it. She looked like she was shining as bright as the moon. Beautiful Venus is now going to start her descent into the underworld where Venus becomes a little bit debilitated, and Venus will be retrograde until April. And then when she comes back, she will rise back as morning star. So Venus will be invisible as she dips under the horizon. But when she re-emerges in April, she will be shining as morning star. It's a definite different flavor. I'm a Venus evening star myself, so I prefer when Venus is evening star. I feel my Venus empowered. Let me know if you know. I can tell you how to, maybe I have to do a whole separate video about how you can find out if your Venus was a morning star or evening star. But if you know, leave it in the comments because it's really fun. I'll tell you what it means if you know where your Venus is and if it's evening star or morning star. But when she comes back as morning star, she will have traveled all the way back to Pisces. And what did she forget when she was in Pisces? I always imagine the planets like, oh, shoot, I left my car keys. And did she forget her glass slipper at the ball? Venus has been invoking such a strong love vibration that's got my rose quartz all charged with the Venus. I've been putting my rose quartz out for Venus at night. And she's going to go all the way back to Pisces where she will conjunct Saturn again. That conjunction is right at the time of these volatile Ides of March. And when Venus is retrograde conjunct Saturn, this is relationship struggles. This can bring tension to our love relationships. No longer is it a good time to remodel. You should not start remodeling anything because Venus rules over remodeling. So if you are thinking about remodeling your kitchen like I am, do not remodel anything. Don't even paint your house right now because Venus will be disruptive in this retrograde. And Venus is going to disrupt everything involving love and money because that is what Venus rules over, love and money. So it's not a great time to launch things that you want to make a lot of money. And it's not a great time for our love relationships. And we will just have some struggles this spring until Venus rises up again as morning star in April. March is going to be really intense. Think about the eclipses, Venus retrograde, and the Ides of March. This is a time when I would not plan a spring wedding. Please do not get married in the month of March. Avoid getting married until Venus retrograde is over, until Venus reemerges this April, because I love to do astrology chart readings for weddings. And if you're getting married, I highly recommend getting a chart because something like this could put a kink not only on your wedding day, but wedding charts, they really affect your entire marriage. So I've seen marriages just fail when people get married and there's like 7 planets retrograde or in the deep heart of retrograde season. This Venus retrograde is more of an internal time for deep heart healing. And I plan to just be listening to a lot of that heart love, sound vibrational healing music that we recorded, and do whatever you can to keep your heart chakra happy this month because Venus has been ruling this divine feminine energy that has been rising on the whole planet for over a year as she has gotten stronger and stronger. But now it's a little like the wind is out of our sails as the divine feminine energy is going backwards. And this is a time to protect your heart, to protect your love, to battle for your heart, to really protect it, and to just let love lead you, but don't start any fights, or I wouldn't break up with somebody during this. You might want to, but just see if you can hold out till April when we're all thinking clearer. And Mercury is going to be keeping us so busy. It's time to not worry so much about your heart, but thinking about more about your mind, because we're going to get those Jedi mind powers to really make things happen with Mercury direct and then Mars going direct, and then Mercury is going to trine Mars this March. And that is going to give us Jedi mind powers and the ambition to finally get things done. And we can figure it all out. And if you've been procrastinating, this Mercury trine Mars is going to get you motivated. And then Mercury will be in a harmonious sextile to that Uranus and Taurus. Mercury is in here. It's kind of hard to see Mercury. He's right there. And he will be sextiling Uranus in Taurus in the Algol star. And that is a harmonious energy that can have you quantum leaping into new adventures, new opportunities just by thinking it and believing it. You can receive it. And then Mercury will also come around to conjunct Saturn in Pisces. And this will be a really good time to do some healing on your subliminal mind, your subconscious mind. This is a good time to try hypnosis, to listen to the subliminal messages like I just recorded, or just anything that can create this energetic shift where it all begins within, I like to say. So you'll have the mental focus, discipline, and concentration if you're doing grant writing, taxes, anything serious during this Mercury conjunct Saturn. You can really get it done. And then Mercury will continue on to conjunct Neptune on March 2nd, and that will make you a little unsure if what you're seeing is real. And I think with all the AI, how do we know? But there could be some confusion and delusion when Mercury conjuncts Neptune on March 2nd. And there could be something happening that is hidden from our view. Things are happening behind our backs right now. We're not really sure what's going on, kind of energy. And if what we think is really true, like we may be not able to trust even our own inner beliefs and thoughts. And then as Mercury continues his path, moving on to Aries on March 3rd, giving ambition to our communication. This is a time when you will want to mind your head, though, because Mercury is the mind moving into Aries, the planet that always bumps its head, especially its forehead. And then, of course, we've got that Uranus with the Algol star. There's just so many astrological aspects that could relate to having headaches or head injuries. I think we should all just wear leather helmets for the month of March, I swear, because there's just so much with Mercury going into Aries. Aries, if you know Aries, I can always tell who's in Aries if I'm at a party, because they have these jutting foreheads and they usually have some kind of scar. If you meet somebody at a party and they have a scar on their forehead and then you say, "Oh, are you an Aries?" And they're like, "Whoa, how did you know?" It's so obvious because Aries always bump their hair. They're the ram, right? So when Mercury moves into Aries, we could bump our head. So you'll want to mind your head this March. And then we have the Algol star too, of course. That's going to be tricky. Mark a red flag for March 14th, because that is when Mercury stations retrograde, right as we have that total lunar eclipse in Virgo. Oh my goodness. Yes. Will we have a government shutdown in the Ides of March? March 14th is the day when they have to figure out how to fund the government. And that is right when Mercury in Aries will retrograde. What is going to happen next? And that retrograde will be going on until April 6th. So act accordingly. Don't sign any contracts. Don't make any huge life-altering decisions under this retrograde. Use your head. Mind your head. Okay, and now I just want to read the Sabian symbol for this Pisces, 9 degrees. We have a jockey spurring on his horse, intent on outdistancing his rivals for the win, for the win. This is a winning new moon. And the keynote is an intense mobilization of energy and skill, the drive for success in any social performance that is brought on by a competitive spirit. And our society worships competition within success. It's the desire in any kind of race to get ahead, to reach the goal of self-quickening. And this race will engender an often feverish kind of energy to get ahead in some way. And that is so Mars direct, Mars stationing direct. We want to compete with our other people and we want to get ahead and we want to be the horse winning, right? And so, but also when I think of reaching the ultimate goal of self-quickening, quickening is something that I think of with pregnant women. I do a lot of prenatal massage and bend, and we always talk about the quickening. Do you know what quickening? Quickening is like when you first feel that fetus in the belly moving around. And so, self-quickening, perhaps we are feeling something born within ourselves that has us wanting to win. And there is this quickening energy that is coming in with this new moon where we might find ourselves like competing to win, just feeling like we got to get ahead in some way. And that Mars direct is telling us it's time to go forth and this competition, it does spur on ambition as we will move into the Aries season soon. And if you are Aries, Aries are so competitive. Aries are some of the most competitive people I know. And if you've ever played a board game with an Aries, then you absolutely know. So let me know if you're feeling this kind of competitive, like I gotta win. But if I'm really honest, I'd rather just win the lottery. If we're talking about winning, I mean, I don't want to be the horse and the jockey that is struggling and having to work so hard to win. Why can't we just accept this beautiful Pisces new moon energy that has so much optimism and rainbows showing up? Maybe we can just win without even having to compete. Wouldn't that be nice? Well, I bless you on this Pisces new moon. Let me know your intentions and I will send Reiki and I will see you next time.